everyone? Welcome back to another Thor Media podcast. I'm your host, Sock from Detailing Made Simple, and today I have something special for you all. So I know I've been jumping around here doing clips because this vehicle is such a great canvas to do a follow-up, show you my process on how I would help rejuvenate the windshield coating. Now, I did apply the DIY Detail 1-year spray coating, but the owner does use a windshield heavily. Now, abrasion over time will of course abrade any type of protection. That is just the way it is. I haven't seen the vehicle in a while. You saw how dirty the wheels were, the tires were, the paint work was, and whatever probably grit that was here through the sandy areas on the windshield wipers probably just abraded the rest of that protection. That is just the way it goes. Now, what I am going to try out is Envie glass sealant. Now, typically for a glass sealant, it'll probably last 3 to 6 months, but this is a glass sealant and it doesn't matter what you apply on the windshield in itself. If the person is a heavy windshield wiper usage. So what I do have here is I'm just going to prep the glass just a little bit. I got my clay towel over here. I have Sidero diluted 1:3. And I am just going to clay a bit of slight contamination that's there. I'm not going to go for perfection because I've already polished this windshield. I've already clayed it. I already decontaminated. I did all the steps above. And within 60 days, it's already gone. So that is okay. But in terms of the paint work, I'll show you the hydrophobics on how amazing the DIY Detail 1 year has been going on. And just let that dwell, let that sit there, the iron remover, and that is it. So that's all you really need in this process. All I'm doing is just rejuvenating. There's no need for me to grab a whole nother 1 year or put a 3-year, open 3-year coating bottle up there if the person is going to use the windshield very heavily. Now, I like to let the iron remover dwell a little bit more because Sidero from Labo Cosmetica does encourage you to dwell it a little bit more than any type of traditional iron removers, because you can let it dwell in the sun. And they actually have a video using it on black paint. And let me bring you in close. So this is how the DIY 1 year is doing on the car's paint. It is doing phenomenal. I did not put anything on the plastic trim. I only put it on the paint. And as you can see, it is nice and clean. Now, I did clean this vehicle. The video that I am doing with this as well is using Thai Slick from Katiba, and that will be my initial use and impressions of using that product because I like to test products, right? Now, this is just my initial use of a glass sealant. Now, I don't know, obviously we want to clean the glass first. I don't know how long this will last, but again, with somebody like this that will use the windshield wipers heavily, car sits outside, frequently outside, and it is a daily driver, trust me, it's not going to last whatever you put on the paint. On the windshield. Hopefully you all can see it here. This is where, of course, the wipers didn't hit, and the DIY 1 year is still going really strong there. So that is just a food for thought. Now, I will pause the video. I will dry the rest of the vehicle for the other video using Thai Slick. And then I will show you the application once the windshield is dry on using DIY Envie glass sealant. All right, everyone. So pretty much we are done. I dried the entire vehicle and we are now ready to apply the glass sealant from Envie. I did dry the glass, and you don't need any fancy tools for this. Just spray a little. I know I have a little residual, whatever, of the other product that I had on there. There's no real issue whatsoever. So what you want to do with DIY Detail Envie, I like to be a little bit heavier with products in general. So I'm just going to spray it kind of like a glass cleaner, just as such. Make sure you get even coverage all around and just wipe on and buff off. There's not really much to say. Now, you all saw how the water behavior was in the video. I'll play a little clip on the overhead on how it was, so all of you can see on the water behavior. But in terms of cleaning the glass, and again, this isn't a glass cleaner, it's a glass sealant. So once you're done cleaning the glass and drying the glass, then you apply this. So same thing, come around on this side, get even coverage just as such. And I will let this sit for about 15 minutes or so, and then we'll probably do a quick little rinse and see the water beading action on it. So I'll let this sit for about like 15 minutes or so. And I'll show you the water behavior on the tight beading if it comes back. So we'll buff that off just as such. Very easy wipe off. And that is it. We are done. Nothing special on here. We'll wait about 15 minutes or so. I'll do the tire part of the video where I'm applying the tire dressing. Then I'll come back and rinse it off. All right, everyone. So you all saw on how the actual windshield was. It had no hydrophobicity, no nothing whatsoever. We applied DIY Detail Envie. It's been sitting there about a little over 15-20 minutes or so since I was doing the tire video. So yeah, let's see on if we get some repellency. Now for glass sealants, typically the hydrophobicity for those type of products, they aren't really that crazy tight beading like your traditional glass coatings would be, but they still do offer nice repellency overall on your windshield. So, and as you can see, it is repelling water right away. So yeah, it is repelling water. Now, one thing to note is not crazy tight beads that I'm not getting. I did shake up the product. So, but in terms of repellency, it is repelling water. And it kind of reminds me of like the Griot's glass sealant type of thing. Obviously, this is more of like a spray on wipe off versus their glass sealant where you had to just, the Griot's Garage, you had to like apply it and then let it sit for a little bit, then wipe off. But in terms of repellency, compared to what it was at, this is light years better. And you still see a little bit of the wear marks of the windshield. So I may apply a second application, but in terms of repellency, obviously you saw it was completely pooling there, completely flat. There was no repellency whatsoever, but now we got some. So that is my initial impressions on DIY Detail Envie. Maybe there is something else. Do I need a panel prep it? Do I not need to? I did do a, as you saw, use an iron remover with a clay towel, rinsed off thoroughly, and then applied DIY Envie glass sealant. But that is my initial impressions on this. And yeah, so hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all on the next one. So this is the results I got. Maybe I did something wrong, maybe I didn't, who knows? But overall, you know, is it repelling? Yes, but it's still not like your tight round beads that you typically would like to get. So that is my impressions. Yeah, so I don't know, Ivan, let me know what I did wrong. I did even over apply it as well, not the 1 to 2 sprays. So yeah, just give me a heads up. Later guys, peace.